Hello students, today we are going to discuss one of the very important chapters. Obviously each and every chapter we can't miss if we are going for any kind of a competitive exam. But when I call this chapter important, I mean to say that as you have studied your cell biology, which is the fundamental pillar of reading biology, and just in that context, if we take that chapter a step further, for example, if that was A, this is B, and if you know your ABCD well, I think each and every student can form a sentence very easily also and conceptually also. So when we come to this chapter, the name of that chapter is structural organization. And when I say structural organization, yes, I am referring to the chapter which is tissues, which is included in human physiology. Okay, now what are we going to study in this chapter? And with the point of view of your NEET examination, I would suggest each and every student to read your NCERT by heart. Okay, this chapter, the words, the framing of the sentences in the NCERT is very important when it comes to structural organization, and so I will be discussing it in the same way. Now as we come to the scope of the lecture, or the chapter rather, I would tell you that the most important point in the structural organization, or first and foremost, we will have to read in detail what are tissues. Okay, I know you have read it in your 9th, in your 10th, but then tissues, as we come into the chapters of physiology, has got a very wider aspect to study. Okay, after that, which is the introduction, and in that we will quote the lines which are given in your NCERT. Then we will be reading about the types of tissues which are present in human beings, and we will be doing a little comparative analysis with the other kingdoms also. In the types of tissues, we will be first studying about the tissue which is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, the word in itself has got many questions to put on if you come to the topic epithelial tissue, and it has got its two major subtypes: simple epithelial tissues and compound epithelial tissues. What are these? We will study in a flowchart format. Next, we will be studying about the connective tissues. Now, the word connection in itself means that these types of tissues are basically, they are forming, or they are synchronizing, or they are responsible for the harmonicity of your body. How? We will see. First, we will read the types of connective tissue. So, they are loose connective tissues which are basically present underneath your skin. Loose connective tissues will further be classified as areolar tissues and dense connective tissues. When I'll read the chapter, I'll teach you even how to make a nice pudding. Okay, when you read these loose connective tissues, the best format of reading a loose connective tissue is just to make a what you call during the eat time, that we make sevaiya. So you can make sevaiya, and then you can have a visualization that gives you a very crystal clear visualization of the loose connective tissues. Now another word is dense connective tissue. When you mean dense, these tissues will be definitely, there will be sturdy tissues, and they will be giving some kind of a connection between two different structural units of your body. So in the dense connective tissue, we will read them under the head regular dense connective tissue and irregular dense connective tissue. In the regular, we will be reading about tendons and ligaments. Everybody can mark them in a red note. Questions are generally asked from this segment every year. We are seeing alternate years. Something is asked from this topic. In the irregular connective tissues, again we will see where is their location. See, now the tissue chapter, the examples and the position of those tissues, where do you find those tissues, is very important. When I say very, it means it is a star important, and you will see once you will start doing the questions, you will see that everywhere, every chapter in physiology will connect you to this chapter again. So that is why I am saying it is very important to read this chapter with the frame of mind that you are reading a concept of human physiology. Okay. Next, we come to the special connective tissues. Now the word in itself says special. So definitely they are having something which is not present in other connective tissues, and the examples under which we will be studying the special connective tissues will be bones, cartilage and one of the very important units, which is even as a chapter in itself, that is blood. So blood is initially it was called as an exception to the tissues. Now we have amended the definition of the tissues, and so we have blood in the special connective tissues, just like the bones and the cartilage. Next, we will be studying about a third type of tissue in our body, that is the muscular tissue, and the fourth type of tissue in our body is nervous tissue. So in short, we have four types of tissue: epithelial tissue, next we have connective tissues, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. This is the first part of the chapter. The second part of the chapter will introduce you, or the topics which we have to read in the second half of the chapter will be from some animals that we have to study. Initially, they were a part of your CBSE syllabus, but yes, a lot of things have been removed now. But still then, with the point of view of need, we have to study because it has been given in the NCERT book. So first organism that we will study, it is earthworm, followed by cockroach. Cockroach is very important, and frog. Okay, so these are the three animals which we will have to study in the unit structural organization. Okay, in the next segment I will draw a flow chart and will introduce you to the chapter. Okay students, so now we come to the first part of the chapter, that is the the tissues and its types. So first and foremost, we'll quote the definition which is given in the NCERT, that what are tissues. So tissues are basically a group of cells with similar ground substance. This is written in the NCERT, with similar ground substance. They are similar in origin and they are performing a specific function. Now this definition has to be by-hearted the way it is. I'll just explain in brief that it is not just the cells coming together and performing a function becomes a tissue, which was a very preliminary definition when we started reading about what our organs and organ system is. But now we want to basically see, now here is a chart you can see just behind my back, that a whole group of tissues, and there are a lot of diversities. So what we say is that the grounds, first and foremost, remember the first point is that they should be very much similar in their origin. Now when I say similar in their origin, I mean to say that during the embryonic stage, their origination, which, like if they are a group, they should originate either from an ectoderm, mesoderm, or endoderm. Okay, so when you will study embryogenesis in your 12th standard, you will read that we have given a table also describing that which layer is forming which part of your organ system. Okay, so that is the first point, that they are originating from they have a similar origin. After that, they have a similar ground substance, or cellular matrix is same. When I say that, it means that they have a fundamental things which are making them up. Okay, fundamental things which are making them up. So that should be similar. Okay, you cannot have an adipose tissue if it is present somewhere in the pelvic region. You can't have an adipose tissues, they store fat, so they cannot have a lot of fibers into them, or they cannot have something from the tissues, something from the blood being settled into them, and then that becomes a tissue. No. Okay, so that is the meaning of the ground substance. And lastly, they are all uniting together to perform a specific function. The word is specific by me, that word I mean, we were actually saying same function. Now for example, I give you digestion. So is that each and every tissue is just helping us to break down proteins? No. Is it that every tissue is helping us to absorb? No. But if you see all together, they are all assigned a specific task. For example, if you have an office of marketing, so from a CEO to a person who is actually giving you your daily requirement needs, he is also basically a part of that same marketing unit. So similarly, digestive system is made up of n number of tissues together, but what is the one specific function? They need to break down the food into its absorbable form so that we can use it for our energy requirements. That is the specific task. Okay, so now we come to the first type of tissue, epithelial tissue. When you will go into your NCERTs or into your notes, you will see that a very good description has been given with a lot of diagrams into the tissue. So first, epithelia. Epi means upon and thelium means there is something which is lying, which upon which it is lying. So I think that concept is clear to you. So epithelial tissues, now each and every tissue I'll again and again say, underline, digest and assimilate the function where they are performing the function, okay, with their basic function and where are they placed inside your bodies. For example, we have simple epithelial tissue. Now when the epithelial tissue has the word simple, it simply means it is single layered and made up of one type of epithelial tissues. Depending upon the shape or on the basis of the shape of the epithelia, simple epithelia, we have got 4 varieties: squamous, square shaped. Now you need to know where are they, their basic function.